Thanksgiving, and we are getting it on in the kitchen. So normally I do all of my cooking Thanksgiving Day just because I don't get up. I'm not a 2 a.m.er. It's not happening. But I will get up about 6 and get my turkey in. I'm going to brine him tonight. But today, just to kind of free up our oven a little bit, we're doing pie and cake. We're doing sweet potato pies, and we're doing pineapple upside down cake, kind of Shakima style. So a friend of mine, we were over at Taekwondo. We live half our life at Taekwondo. We were over at a Taekwondo event the other day, and one of the ladies was talking about doing pineapple upside down cake, but she was going to do hers in muffin tins. So I thought that was a great idea, and y'all have been up all night trying to figure out how my muffin was not going to puff up over my tin, but it didn't work out in my brain, so I'm just going to go for it. And I'm kind of doing this a little bit semi-homemade style, so just kind of go with me. Non-traditional, absolutely. So in this fry pan, we have a stick of butter and a cup and a half of brown sugar that's melted. In this bowl, I'm using a super moist French vanilla cake mix. So I've got the cake mix in, half a cup of oil, 3 eggs, and then the recipe calls for a cup of water, but I'm actually going to use a cup of the pineapple juice that came out of the pineapples. So this is what I'm going to use in here, and I am going to whisk, 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 and stir, stir, stir. I don't have a mixer, so prayerfully Black Friday I'll be able to get a mixer. I do have this wire whisk, and this works just as well to get the lumps out. A KitchenAid would be excellent if anybody is wanting to play Santa Claus at my house. But prayerfully I'll be able to get a just a regular hand mixer. Doesn't have to be fancy. I know you all haven't seen me bake much. I don't bake unless it's during the holidays because I don't have a lot of time normally. So this is the only time that I can do it. So into here, again, I have just this French vanilla cake mix. I had a coupon for this. Probably was about 67 cents. It was less than $1. And I've got 3 eggs, a half a cup of just regular canola oil, and then a cup of pineapple juice. And I've already whisked that. There's no lumps. It's nice and smooth. And now we're going to start a little bit of an assembly line. And my helper is going to also help me. To this, because this mixture is hot, I'm going to do this pouring in. We are using our muffin tin this time. I'm going to take my spoon out. Sit it in there. Maybe it'll hold. We'll see. And then to the muffin tin, I've already sprayed this with cooking spray. I'm going to add a little bit of this warm brown sugar mixture to each of the cups. And after I add the warm brown sugar mixture to the cups, my helper is going to come behind me and add in a pineapple and a maraschino cherry. And then we are going to add in the cake batter. Nice. And we may have to do a couple rounds. Just not sure. We may have to do a couple rounds of this. Actually, I'm going to get my other helper, my bigger helper, to rinse off the bundt pans that we bought today. And we'll do 2 rounds of those. And then we won't have to do 2 rounds of muffins. Where are they? Oh, you did leave too soon, sister. They are in the laundry room. So into each of the muffin cups, a little bit of the brown sugar butter mixture. Uh-oh. Already had some in there. So I'm going to take that back out. Now, my helper, Jackson, is going to go ahead and start with my pineapples. So I'm going to have my other helper slide over and just watch that process. You may have to shove it in, buddy, because it may not want to go in nicely. So we may just have to shove it. There we go. Shove, shove, shove. Nice. So my daughter is home today, and we've got everybody in the kitchen, and we are doing it this morning. We're trying hard to get it all done so that we don't have as much left to do. Tomorrow we can actually just do the actual food stuff. So I'm going to step in here and help Jackson a little bit. I'm just going to make sure that our pineapple gets pushed down really well. Because when we put our mixture in, just this one. Did you rinse that one out? Rinse that one. We want to make sure that it all stays in. So I'm going to come behind with the cherry while he works on that. And these are just going to be little mini ones. I thought about doing the bigger one, but let's be a little non-traditional, right? And see how it works out. And I may have to open up that other can of pineapples because it may not quite be enough. But already it looks good. It smells good. Brown sugar mixture on the bottom. We did spray our pan ahead of time. 1 pineapple and 1 maraschino cherry. So one tin or 1 can of pineapples got us, what, 9? Are there any more in there, baby? Oh, you're welcome to come over anytime. Okay, so let's see. How many more we got?
1 more.
1 more, so we are going to have to open up that second can of pineapple. And actually, I'm going to do the bundt pan as well, so we're going to open up the second can anyway. So here we go. Now, what works a little bit easier for us is we're going to actually take the cake batter and pour it in our measuring cup. And once we do that, it makes it a little bit easier to pour into each muffin tin. So we're going to take this and pour in, pour over, then scoop off. Pour over to cover the pineapple and the cherry, and then scoop off. So I'm going to transfer ownership of this to my other bigger helper while I do the rest of the pineapple. And Jackson's my kitchen boy. He really does like to help mommy in the kitchen. Not other people so much. So Sham, if you can come help him with this. Go ahead. Just help him use the other hand, buddy. There we go. And I think it's really important. So he's going to pour in and then scoop off. I think it's important to teach my boys how to cook because slow, slow, slow. We want to cover it, but slow. Because they may not have anybody to cook for them. And they are more than welcome to come to my house at any time. However, they got to feed themselves. So we're doing mini sweet potato pies, and we're also finishing out the rest of the pineapple upside down cakes. Now these in this mini bundt pan will not have the maraschino cherry because I can't get it in there, or maybe I'll put a few around. I'm not sure because there with the bundt in the middle, there is no way to put that cherry in the middle. And I'm gonna have to put a little bit less of the brown sugar sauce in here because we don't have much left. But anywho, I hope your Wednesday is going well and that you're well on your way to getting your Thanksgiving dinner squared away and situated. If you have to travel, be really careful in your travel. We're not traveling, thank the Lord. We are going to have some folks over. We're actually going to to my parents' house, and then we're coming back over here, and we're supposed to have friends over for after dinner desserts. So I'm trying to have a few things available here. So I'm just spraying these. I found this pan. This is a Wilton pan. It's a mini bundt pan. My daughter and I were at Walmart this morning trying to pick up the last few little things. And this was in the clearance aisle. So I was excited about this find. So I'm just going to take the rest of my brown sugar mixture and go around each of the little mini bunts. And I'm going to try to spread this out a little so that we get enough of everything. We'll see how that works. So that I have enough. But there are only 6 in here. I think in the muffin pans, how many do we have?
9.
We have 12. There are 12 in the muffin pans and 6. So if this comes out right, we should get about 18 little mini upside down pineapple cakes. So again, remember, I got this idea from one of the moms at Taekwondo who said this is what she was doing for her Thanksgiving. She was going to family, and this is what she was bringing. And I didn't really get all the details, so I hope I'm doing this right. Normally, again, I would have just done this in a regular cake plate. So I'm moving this out of the way. And y'all remember to save me some because I've got to do it in here. And then I'm going to take the cherries. Grab this and my fork. Because I don't have a hole to stick the cherries in, I'm just going to do a couple in each of these. And then my pineapple is going to go on top of this. Baking is a kind of a precise art, but I just kind of... My aunt told me once, she said, when you cook with love, that's the secret ingredient. And the honest truth is I love everybody that I cook for, whether I know you or not. And I love the art of cooking. I like the payoff it gives me. I just love to do it. I'm not an eater so much because I really don't care if I eat. I do care if you eat. So it makes me happy. It's one of my favorite pastimes. I do appreciate it. I need some for mamas. So you dump some out.
Pull it in there? You want us to pour it in there?
Yeah, you can.
Let me see.
So I can start on the mini sweet potato pies. So this morning it's pineapple upside down cakes and sweet potato pies. We're doing a few individual ones and then we'll do one big one. I don't do pumpkin pie because I don't like it.
Hater.
But my sister gave me one from Publix and we're going to try it. The kids will try it. Mommy will not try it.
I like it.
And Alana doesn't like it either.
What?
So I opened up another thing of pineapple, and this is going to fit over the bunt. So I've got cherries, I've got the pineapple, and the other kids are actually going to put in our mix. And then these are going in a 350-degree oven, probably for about 20 minutes. We'll check them at about 18 minutes, and if they need a little more, we'll give them a little more. So, you know, if you do it traditional, that's perfectly fine. Oh, we missed one. Two. We missed 2. Let's put those in.
Not enough cherry.
I do have a few more cherries left, Bubba. So it all cooks evenly. Okay. All right, I'm going to wash my hands. The kids are going to finish that portion. I'm going to do a little bit of light cleanup. Here's your cherries, Shamika. Thank you. I'm going to do a little bit of light cleanup, and then I'm going to start on my sweet potatoes. And then once we get this all in the oven, we've got a couple other things because we're going to do a few visits today. We're going to visit around to some friends. But of course, the kids will finish up those, and then they're going right in the oven. Now, over here, I've got these little graham cracker crusts, and we're going to make individual little sweet potato pies. I do have another big one that we will use. So I'll do 6 little ones and 1 big one, and these are the Kiba crusts. I had a coupon on that as well. So I'm going to find my handy dandy spatula. Haven't had a sip of coffee or anything to eat this morning, but you know, who needs to eat, right? It's kind of like sleep. We'll do it sometime. All right, so into this bowl, I have a can of Bruce's sweet potato pie filling. My grandmother does it everything from scratch. She peels the sweet potatoes, or she did when she was alive. She peeled the sweet potatoes. She put the flour in. She did all the butter and the eggs, and I do know how to do that. But again, for time's sake, this is easier for me and my schedule is to kind of do everything pretty much semi-homemade. And so I have to roll like that. If I had way more time, then I would probably do everything from scratch. I do want to learn how to make bread from scratch. And I may do that at some point. It's just not happening for me right now. So into this, I'm going to add in 2 eggs. It says 2/3 cup of evaporated milk, but I'm just going to use the regular lactose-free milk that we have here, and it's going to be fine. So I'm doing 2 large eggs. And then I'm going to add in a little bit more cinnamon and some brown sugar and a little bit of a regular sugar. The only time I actually have regular sugar in the house is for the holidays because I don't use regular sugar. A little bit of brown sugar. This is the light brown, just the Food Line brand or whatever you have on hand. And I don't measure any of this. It's just really to taste. And my kids like sweet potato. The sweet potato is sweet, but we like sweet potato. So, are we done with that? I would like for the cherry juice to go away before we hear Jackson in the bowl. There we go, buddy.
In the sink, please.
In the sink. And we're using the sink as a catch-all right now until I have free hands, and then we will clean. Or as soon as their things go in the oven, we'll clean. And again, I don't have a mixer, so if you want to play Santa Claus for me this Christmas season, I will not stop you at all. The end. But my wire whisk does really, really well. Just another tip, if you traditionally have lumpy grits, if you use a wire whisk in your grits, you will no longer have lumpy grits. So that's a freebie. You're welcome.
That wasn't a hard thing.
And I'm going to do 2/3 cup of just this regular lactose-free milk. Normally I would use a wet measure cup, but the kids are using the only one that I have. So I'm going to use this one. So that's 2/3 cup milk, 1 can of Bruce's sweet potato puree, brown sugar, light brown, regular granulated sugar, and a little bit of cinnamon, 2 eggs, and we're just going to stir. And then we're going to pour these into their shells. And again, I'm using the graham cracker crust shells, not the regular ones you have to bake. So I'm not using the dough shells. I'm using graham cracker crust shells this year. And this is new because normally I do the dough shells. But we're going to give it a whirl and see how we like this. I am going to do a little bit of light clean because if I don't, I'm kind of OCD about my kitchen. Just a smidge. Just a hair. I'm excited. My daughter and I are going to sit down. We're going to do a YouTube tag. One of the YouTubers tagged me to do a budgeting video. It's a collab. It's called Will Debt Tear Us Apart? And so I'm excited to do that. Of course, no, I am not with anyone. And of course, that's one of the stipulations is it's for 2 people. But my daughter and I are going to do it from the perspective of, hey, we want to be married one day. And what should we actually do in preparation for that? So I'm excited about that for us. So this is what the batter looks like. So that's 1 can of Bruce's sweet potato pie filling, 2 eggs, 2/3 cup of milk, cinnamon added, light brown sugar added. I probably would put dark brown sugar in this, but I didn't have it. And then just a little bit of the regular white granulated sugar. Stir, stir, stir. Again, using the wire whisk for no lumps. Prayerfully, no lumps. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and there's a little pour spout on this, so we are going to try to use the pour spout and not have to use the cup. So let's see how we get. And I'm probably going to go pretty full. And again, we're going to cook these just until set. But done. Color's beautiful.
I'm gonna lick the bowl.
we would prefer not to lick the bowl.
Okay.
I'm just smelling it. For sure.
I need that other pie crust, please.
This.
Yes. That one's just going plain. It won't go on a tray. And I'm putting this on a tray simply because these are the individuals and I don't want them to fall or have spills in my oven. So I am using just a regular cookie sheet here. Now let's start to put some things into the oven. So we're going to pull out, these again are our pineapple upside down muffin cakes. They're going into a 350-degree oven. We've got the brown sugar mixture at the bottom of these, a pineapple, and our maraschino cherries on both of those. Those are the bunts, these are the muffins, so they're both going at the same time. And I'm actually going to put my sweet potatoes, individual sweet potato pies, those are going in the graham cracker crust, 350-degree oven. And then here's the last one that I'm going to do. See if we don't need an extra one. As full as we can get this one. Without having to get another crust. Because I'm not buying another one. Okay, can we make it? Can we make it? Alrighty then, y'all. Okay, so for that one, all of our trash or dishes there. For that one, we have, we use 6 individual pie crusts and we use 1 individual pie shell. Let's start taking all the trash to the trash can. There. Napkins over there. And then this one is going to also, oh Lord, I want to spill. Pray my strength in the Lord that this don't spill. Help me, Holy Ghost. There we go, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to put this on 18 minutes just for the muffins. The cakes will cook probably about 45 minutes to an hour. So I'll have to readjust my time. But just take one last look at everything in the oven. It's all in. So I've done that in a couple quick minutes. And I'll have pictures after to show you what it looks like. So thank you for stopping by our kitchen, and we'll see you next time we cook. Bye. Okay, everybody, it's been about 20 minutes, and we just got the pineapple upside down cakes out of the oven. So what I did was, when it was right side up, I put a piece of tin foil over the top, and then I put another pan under it so that when I flip these over, it would have something to land on. And so I'm just going to pull the top muffin pan off and let you see what they look like. Remember, we used the French vanilla cake mix, and that's what one pan looks like. We did the sugar, brown sugar mixture with a pineapple, maraschino cherry, and then we poured in our cake mix. What I did was I made sure that I stuck a toothpick in them to make sure that the inside was done. And then for our bundt cakes, let's see how they turned out. They turned out just as good. Look at those. Oh my goodness. Don't they look delish? So of course now we're just going to let it cool. Let everything cool. And remember, because we had the bundt in the middle, we could not necessarily put the cherry in the middle. So we ended up putting the cherries on the outside of this one. And there's a pineapple underneath there. The cake is nice and firm. It's moist on the inside. It's still very soft, but it is done because I stuck a toothpick in the side, not in the middle where it was kind of thin. But that crusted up really nicely. We only had a little bit of spillage in the oven, but it wasn't too bad. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys see what it looked like. It's a little different, something I don't normally do, but I'm really pleased with the results. So thank you for watching. Give us a like if you really like our video, and we'll see you next time we cook. Bye.